This video is going to discuss how to make a high-res, print-ready PDF file for EDDM postcards in Adobe Applications, plus how to order EDDM postcards on our website. As you can see, I'm on our website, greenerprinter.com. I'm on the EDDM postcard printing page, and I want to briefly explain the difference between EDDM retail and the one where you select route and quantity, and that is called EDDM BMEU. For EDDM retail, we do not deliver the postcards to the post office. We just print your postcards for you like any other postcard order, and we bulk ship them to you. Then you have to go to the post office and pay them the postage directly, drop off the pieces, and fill out the paperwork. That's all that really EDDM retail involves for us. EDDM BMU, where you select your route and quantity, you would have to go here, type in a zip code where you want these delivered to. Click search zip code. Now this is going to look at all the routes within one zip code that the post office delivers to. So if you hover over this entire map, you can see all the various routes that are available within one zip code. And here's everything. So I'm going to click this, and it's going to show you how many addresses, how many businesses, the house size, median age, income, and generally how much the cost is for the postage for this particular route. I'm going to select several by clicking the Shift key, holding it down, picking several routes. So I chose 5 routes. This is the total number of residential addresses, and this is the total number of addresses because there are some businesses here. But I just want residential only, and that will reduce that. You have to do this procedure for each zip code. Each zip code will be a separate line item in your order. So these are the available sizes for EDDM postcards. These are the standard sizes. There are very tight regulations and requirements from the post office about sizing of EDDM postcards. You can't do a 4x6, you can't do a 5x7. They're quite large EDDM postcards because of the sizing requirements by the post office. If you want anything that isn't listed here, you'll need a custom quote, and then we will review if the size you want to do falls into the EDDM acceptable range of sizes. But I'm going to pick from this list, I'm going to pick a 6.5x9 postcard. I'm going to print on both sides, 4/4. I'm just going to get a PDF proof. This is the total quantity of addresses within the routes that I chose. I'm going to add it to my cart. And here you can see the approximate postage for all 2,288 postcards. That could change a little bit depending. It's also listed here. Now, if you click on the details, you can see more the details of what you added to your cart. EDDM postcard, 120 silk cover, 6.5x9, total quantity 2,288, ink 4/4, PDF proof. So under EDDM routes, the first 5 numbers are the zip code, and the rest of it is the post office route number, C005. That's the quantity of addresses within that route. Same thing for all these. I chose residential only. The mailing service is EDDM, and I chose standard turnaround time. Then you would purchase your cart to place an order. Now, I went ahead into InDesign, and these principles apply to all Adobe applications, Illustrator, etc. And I clicked File, Document Setup, and I chose 9x6 because that's exactly the size I need it to be. I want a horizontal postcard, which is what most postcards are anyway. So 9x6, exact size. Do not make it bigger or smaller. 2 pages, 1 front, 1 back. Under bleed and slug, I added 1/8 of an inch to the bleed. All 4 bleed fields. Click OK. I made a layer, and I placed my artwork. I also downloaded a 6.5x9 template from our website. Now, we don't have any specific EDDM templates on our website. I just chose a standard 6.5 by 9. There's an explanation here of what all these lines mean, but I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So I went ahead and I created a layer for the template, and I placed in the template already. The reason we do this is so that we can see margins, trim lines, bleed, etc. All important information, so we can make sure our artwork falls within these requirements. The black line is the trim line. The yellow area is the bleed area. The blue line is the safety margin. No type, logos, or important elements can be past this safety margin, or there's a chance they could get cut a little bit. Printing's not perfect, cutting's not perfect, so we need a little bit of a safety area. This is 1/8 of an inch between the trim line and the safety margin, and 1/8 of an inch between the trim line and the outer bleed edge. Now, if you'll notice here, this type would not be okay. It would not fall within the safety margin. So we're going to move it back up so that it is within the blue safety margin. You need to make sure that all your type logos and important elements are inside that safety margin. Now, for bleed, any image in the background, any solid colors, any gradients, etc., that touches the trim edge must extend 1/8 inch past the trim edge, and that is called bleed. And you can see the blue here extends, the orange extends where it touches the trim edge. Same thing on the back side. This green area extends 1/8 of an inch, the blue area, the green area, the blue area. Any place where items touch the trim edge, they must extend 1/8 inch past the trim edge. Okay, so let's talk about links. Let me turn off this. Go to the links palette. This is all the links within this file. And I'm going to select this logo. You can see it's logo 1 in the links palette, and I'm going to spill my link info. You can see the color space of this logo is RGB. We prefer all artwork to be in CMYK because those are the printing inks we print in: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Our RIP will automatically convert any RGB, Pantone, or other color space links and artwork into CMYK automatically. Some people don't like that conversion because RGB can be a brighter, more vibrant color space than CMYK, which can look a little dull after the conversion from RGB to CMYK. So we recommend that you convert all your artwork to CMYK first, make any color adjustments on your end, then link in your artwork. This way, the file you supply us is already CMYK, and what we print will be much closer to what your file is. Now, this logo is also, it's originally 300 DPI, but it's placed at 200% enlargement. So it makes the effective DPI 150, which is low res. Anything below 300 DPI is considered low res. Now, if you notice off on the page margin, I already placed in a CMYK logo, and it is effective DPI of 300 because it's placed at 100% enlargement. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the RGB low res logo and place in the CMYK high res logo. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So you can see now the CMYK high res logo is placed in my file. Now let's go to the layers palette. So this is the mailing side of the postcard. And I'm going to show you a sample indicia and address area. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but the indicia has to be in the top right somewhere. This is our indicia that we use. We will place this into the file. You do not need to. I just wanted to show you a sample of what it would look like. It says ECRWSS. That means every door direct. That is the correct indicia for EDDM. Now, The postal customer and the city, state, and zip code must match the order that was placed. So our sample file I was showing you, the sample order, was our zip code 94804 in Richmond, California. So this would be changed to Richmond, California 94804. It must match, and it must be postal customer, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be in this exact position. It needs to be below the indicia. It can't be to the side of it. There's some leeway there with positioning for postcards for EDDM. This is a nice layout though, because it's very clear where the address, where it's going, and the indicia is in its correct position. So now let's go and export a PDF. We go to File, Export. I'm going to save it to the desktop, and you have to export it as Adobe PDF Print from the pull down menu. Click Save, and you always want to save it as PDF X4 2008. It's available in all, it comes preloaded actually in all Adobe applications. It's an Adobe PDF preset. If you pull this down, you'll see also there's high quality print and press quality. Don't use those, they're not very good. Choose always PDF X4 2008. For export as, you want single pages, not spreads. And these are all the settings for this preset. We're going to make one change. Under marks and bleeds, we are going to add in 1/8 of an inch bleed, top, bottom, left, right. If you don't add in bleed here, this bleed in your file will not come out in the PDF, and we require bleed. So please make sure to add your bleed here, or click Use Document Bleed Settings, which come from the document setup when we created our file. Either one, choose that and make sure this is all says 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to export, and it's going to export it to my desktop. And here's the file. Now you can see I made a mistake. I left the template in the PDF. Anything you leave in the PDF is going to print. We cannot delete it, even our templates. So you must go back into InDesign and hide that layer. So let's go back in here. We're going to hide this layer because you don't need to do this part where with the address and the zip code. We do that for you. We add our own indicia for you, and you want to hide the template. So let's click File, Export. Oops, wrong thing. Aha. Okay, File, Export. I'm going to write right over the existing file I made because it's no good. I'm going to replace that. All these settings should already be set up and correct. PDF X4 2008, it says modified because we added in bleed, and single pages. Let's export that. And there we are. So here is the print ready PDF, and as you can see, no more template. It looks good and correct. Now our postcard is 9 by 6.5, our trim size, but we add in 1/8 of an inch bleed on all 4 sides. And down here you can see the final size is 9 1/4 by 6 3/4, and that is correct. And you can see that I have bleed all the way to the outer edge on all areas that require bleed. Here. So now we have a print ready PDF for EDDM postcards.